What's up guys, welcome to the garage, and today's video is the WLtoys A959 versus the LaTrax Teton. Two 1/18 scale trucks. This is a buggy, this is like a monster truck, and we're going to compare them both, and I'm pretty sure this video is going to be quite interesting to some of you, and a lot of my subscribers, I've seen in the comments, you've been hounding me for quite some time, get an A959, so I've got one. I've actually had it a little while. This is my first opportunity really to get out and do this video. Didn't bother doing an unboxing or review of it because there's hundreds of them on YouTube. So straight in, Teton versus WLtoys. Now, I've gone for a little bit of a Top Gear style on this, and we are doing a little chart there. Gonna score it up. We've got the LaTrax and the WLtoys there. We've got cost, speed, setup, spares, reliability, handling, slalom, and then we'll total the scores up at the end. So let's get straight in and do the speed run, and we'll put the score up for the speed run, and then we'll get back to chat about reliability, spares, and some other stuff, and then we'll look at the handling, and we'll go from there. Anyway, here's the speed run from both of them. Right, we've got WLtoys first for the speed run. GPS reset to 0. I may need a bit of a run up for this because I'm pretty sure it's quite quick. I kind of know it's quicker than the Teton, but we need to get a figure down there to see how much quicker this is than the LaTrax. Anyway, start off with this then. Right, that is flat out. Let's bring it in, see what speed we got. Nice, 58 kilometers an hour. This little thing is rapid. That Teton doesn't stand a chance with a speed run. Anyway, let's see what it can do. Right, little man, I don't think you've got much chance against 58 kilometers an hour, but let's see what the LaTrax can do. Right, reset to 0. Probably don't need to go far for this. Nothing against it really, but it's just not too bad to handle. Right, that's full throttle straight away, no issues with that. .32. I thought it'd be a bit quicker with the LiPo in it. I'm sure it is quicker when I first got it. Maybe there's something wrong with that motor. Or maybe I've had this a while, so I might have affected the speed on it. Better, 33. I'm sure this was good for a bit more. So as you can see, 58 kilometers an hour, 33 kilometers an hour. Now I said in the video, you heard there, that I thought this was actually going a bit slow considering it's got a LiPo in it, but I checked back over the original footage when I got this, and with the stock nickel metal hydride battery, it only got 30 kilometers an hour. So it is actually an increase of 3 kilometers an hour with the LiPo in it. So 33, 58. This thing is an absolute beast. So speed. So what we'll do is we'll take the speed they had. We'll put a little decimal place in the middle, and that'll be the score. So the LaTrax 3.3 and the WLtoys 5.8. Now the rest I'm probably going to do out of 5, but for the speed I thought that was a good way of doing the speed. So 3.3 for the Teton, 5.8 for the WLtoys. Right, so let's talk about cost. This is cost in the UK, by the way. I know these are a bit cheaper in the US. In the UK, this is £125, which is around $150. This one, this cost me £55, which is about $70, give or take. So you're looking, in the UK, this is more than half the cost of the LaTrax. We won't talk about what you get with them for that cost at the moment. We're just talking about costs And in my opinion, this is definitely slightly overpriced. And this thing, bang for buck, you get a lot for your money with this. So on that basis, we'll talk about setup in a minute, but on that basis, I'm giving the WLtoys a 5 out of 5 for cost. I'm going to give the LaTrax a, let's go, 3.5. And I'll give it 3.5 because it's okay, the quality's good. So 3.5 and 5. At the moment, it looks like I'm being a little bit favourable for the WLtoys. Watch the rest of the video before you start making assumptions like that. At the moment, the cost of this and the speed of this is definitely up on the LaTrax. Let's go to the Slalom and have a look at how they get on at the Slalom. It's just a basic one round, some flower pots. I've put the timer on there. You'll see the different speeds. I did have a couple of practice runs. I did try quite a few times of this, but it's not on camera. But the fastest run for that is, and the fastest run for that is. So that's okay. From the cones, you can just see over there. I'm going to go around the 4 flower pots and then back round down to the cones. Got my stopwatch ready. LaTrax Teton first. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, that was a practice. Let's go again. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, go. Three, two, one, go. So 11.1 for the Teton. This thing did handle it quite well. It's a little bit slower, obviously, and with the slightly better suspension, which we'll talk about in a minute, this did get around there better. Obviously, my driving skills are questionable, but obviously I drove both of them, so it's a fair test. 11.1 for the Teton. Fair few failed ones for this, but I did get a time of 13.4. So I couldn't get this, it just spins out. When you try and put the throttle down, it's really hard to control. And even going slow, it's so tempting with the throttle to just give it a little bit extra. I'm sure over time, if I kept practicing and practicing, I could have got this time down. But for this test, 11.1, 13.4. So we're going to give this, on this test out of 5, we'll give this top marks 5 because it was the fastest. And for the amount of seconds behind this was, which was 2, we'll take 2 off. 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Right, let's talk about setup and reliability. Easy one, reliability first. I've had the Teton quite a while, and in the first run, the servo stripped out. After that, I've had no issues with it apart from the motor, but that was my own fault for taking it on the beach and getting sand in it. So the only thing that's gone wrong with that is the servo, and that was after 1 run. I've now taken this out for 1 run, nothing's broken. So on that basis, I'm going to knock 1 mark off of that for reliability, and we'll give that full marks at the moment. Obviously over time things may change, but broke that first run and it wasn't anything more than what I'd done with that. In fact, it was probably less because I was only running on a AstroTurf, like a football pitch, and the servo stripped out. So 4 for that and 5 for that. Right, so before we go and have a look at the handling side, let's just have a quick chat about setup and spares. Now, loads of spares for this, loads of spares for this. The spares for this are cheaper than this, but then that goes with the brand. It's a cheaper brand. The spares aren't, the quality's not there on some of the stuff. Whereas I'm not a massive fan of Traxxas, but generally this is built right. The plastics feel better. Yes, I did strip the servo out, but nothing else is broken. So spares wise, I'm going to give them both the same. I'm going to knock a point off that for the quality of some of the spares, and I'm going to knock a point off that for the cost of some of the spares. So they're both going to get 4 out of 5 for the spares. Right, let's go and have a look at handling. Done it on a little figure of 8 on a dusty, sort of dirty surface. Took them both out and drove them both around, and I'll show you that now. So I've set a little figure of 8 up here because it's a really loose, some loose dirt, gravel, mud and stuff here. And I really want to check the handling of this. You saw on the Slalom that the LaTrax won quite easily, even though it's like half the speed. That's just got too much power. Let's actually see what it's like when you're trying to control it on dirt and gravel. Both 4-wheel drive. But that overpowered WLtoys. Let's give it a go anyway. It was quite hard to distinguish between the two, which one was handling better, and obviously this is just one terrain. It wasn't on solid tarmac. On normal tarmac this isn't actually too bad. It does have too much power though, like I think I've mentioned already, but on this surface it's quite good fun, and after a little while I did get the hang of it and did get better at it. It's certainly got a decent amount of speed and grip. The LaTrax, again, it was okay. It's a bit wallowy, it's a bit big, and I think because it's a bit slow and you haven't got that wheel speed, I hit the cone a couple of times with it because I was turning and it'd get grip and then it'd just sort of go in the wrong sort of direction. So a little bit slow and wallowy. This was quite hard to handle because of the speed, but again, I think I'm just going to give them an even 3.5 each out of 5. Too much power, not enough power, but other than that they're pretty equal. If anything, I'd give that a little bit extra because it's fun, but this test is about handling, not how much fun it is. I do prefer driving that one on this sort of terrain though. So 3.5, 3.5. And that brings us on to the final bit, which is setup. And what I mean by setup is what do you actually get when you buy one of these straight out of the box? How is it? Now, we'll start with this. It comes almost ready to run. You just have to add batteries to your transmitter. Other than that, it's got a 2-cell LiPo. It's got oil shocks. It's got plastic chassis, some metal parts, metal gears. Tyres are okay. They just could do with probably some foams and stuff in there. Other than that, good, straight out of the box. Just for reference, here it is, very small drop with them oil shocks. I have checked that they're topped up. You hear it bottoms out. The oil shocks on this let this thing down. And then the Teton out of the box, fully ready to run, even comes with batteries for the transmitter. Nice big soft tyres, really nice suspension. And all the plastics and everything in there is pretty good quality. Reference for your suspension, you can't top that. So setup, better quality. I'm not sure on looks. I mean, they're two different things, so you can't really go on looks, but definitely setup. The LaTrax, I'm going to give it a higher score. It does come with a nickel metal hydride, and this comes with a LiPo, but it's easy enough to change if you want to, and it will run it. The electronics are better quality in there. This thing is good, really good value for money. I really like it, but you give the LaTrax a 4.5 out of 5. I'm going to take half a point off for that nickel metal hydride. This I'm going to give a 3.5. The reason I'm going to give it a 3.5 is the plastic qualities just don't feel as good as the LaTrax. The oil shocks let it down because they just don't do the job for this heavy thing. I expect the one with the smaller motor in it would be better. So losing a full mark for them oil shocks and half a mark for the quality. So there you go, that is my little comparison between the LaTrax Teton and the A959. To summarise, I mean, I did carry on playing with these, as you'll see. I had really good fun. They're both really good fun. This handles well. It'd probably be better on the rougher terrain than this. This thing is an absolute speed machine, and once you get to grips with it, it's not actually bad, and it definitely doesn't disappoint. Depends what you want. If you've got a bit of money burning a hole in your pocket, get a LaTrax. For me, my favourite, I've not added the scores up yet, but my favourite is definitely the WLtoys. Massive amount of entertainment for the money on that, and you could get two of them and some spares for the same price as that, regardless of the scores. My favourite is that. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and let me know if you disagree with any of my scores, and you tell me what yours are. Anyway, let's have a look at that final score. So the LaTrax cost 3.5, speed 3.3, setup 4.5, spares 4, reliability 4, and handling 3.5, slalom 5, total score 27.8. WLtoys A959, cost 5, speed 5.8, setup 3.5, spares 4, reliability 5, handling 3.5, slalom 3, total 29.8. So the WLtoys comes out on top. Cheers for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Link for that in the description. Link for that in the description. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time.